Excitement in the air. Another cage match here tonight between two of the most hated rivals, not only of each other, but by the crowd, for that matter. Whether we'll have it on TV, we were told we would not. Now it appears maybe we will. We'll have to find out. I'll be back in just a moment with a whole lot of wrestling, some wrestling news, and, of course, the always colorful and unpredictable interviews. First, though, the man who's been with us all these many, many years, bringing wrestling to you, Tom Peterson.
Remember, I'm Marv Tonkin, the Ford man.
Among other things in the mail today, we got from an anonymous source an article out of the Springfield Oregonian News, August 10th, a tribute, and a nice one by Eric Mortensen wrote it to Shag Thomas, mentioned Bearcat Wright. I would make one correction on it. He's talking about Jimmy Jones announcing wrestling on KPTV in those days, and not so. Jimmy, to my knowledge, has never done any wrestling announcing. It's been yours truly since the beginning on Channel 12 this last time around. Started on 27 many, many years ago, which later became 12. But a nice story nonetheless in the Springfield newspaper about Shag Thomas, written by Eric Mortensen. Eric, you weren't paying attention who the announcer was when you were sitting down in that basement watching the wrestling many years ago. We've got a lot of action, a lot of different things going to be happening tonight, and we're not just sure in what order they're going to happen, so why don't you stick with us?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The first event this evening will be one fall. Introducing in this corner, 235 pounds, Sheikh Abdullah. His opponent in this corner, 225 pounds, from Mississippi, Tommy Rogers. Referee, Luke Brown.
Luke Brown, the referee. Frank Bonham calling the action. That, of course, was Don Owen doing the introductions. Abdullah the Sheik on hand. Some questions in the mail about when is Mort coming, Matt Bourne coming back? Is Jimmy Snuka coming back? Well, we never know those things. Snuka now main eventing in Madison Square Garden. Matt Bourne, I see, is in Atlanta, Georgia. Tommy Rogers in against the Sheik. Nearly full house on hand here to watch the matches tonight, and particularly to see that cage match. Buddy Rose says he will leave the Northwest. Will not wrestle here again. Somebody wrote in questions, says, does that mean never wrestle again? No, you can't really do that. We had a couple trial cases of loser leave town matches. The general rule of thumb is 90 days that a man can be not allowed not to wrestle in an area. They say it's taking away from his livelihood if you ban him forever, except for flagrant violation of the rules or something like that. That would be at least 3 months, unless otherwise stipulated specifically in a contract. I think in this case Rose would be gone for quite a while because he has really put his foot in it this time. More questions about Matt Bourne. Well, as we say, he's down south. Steve Regal, when is he coming back? He is left wrestling, the last thing we hear. The shoulder did not bend as well as you thought. Over the top by Rogers. He's up, and a hip toss against Abdullah the Sheik. Working a wing lock, reverse wing lock. Tommy Rogers working it on Abdullah as we are nearing capacity at the Portland Sports Arena. Body slam. And somebody sent me an article, Evelyn Krause of Long Beach. Looks like it came out of People magazine about Adrian Adonis and Jesse Ventura. They're making it in the big time, aren't they? Well, they certainly are. Two of them that started their careers here again. Well, thank you, Miss and Mrs. Krause, whatever the case might be. Rogers working on Abdullah. Arching back with the hold. Mount Hood Community College this week, the scene on the opening day, Monday. The main event has been changed, and we hope to get word to you tonight yet what it will be, but match definitely continue at Mount Hood on Monday night. Tommy Rogers. Abdullah the Sheik, as he has... Oh, a leapfrog coming back with a drop kick. Sheik is nailed. Arm drag slam. Tommy Rogers looking good in the crowd, liking it. Abdullah the Sheik wearing shoes similar to those worn by the Iron Sheik. Remember when the Sheik and Dutch Savage had their rivalry? I don't know if you ever got to see it, but a half-hour documentary was done on that show, on that final match between the Iron Sheik and Dutch Savage. Made one of the most interesting sports documentaries I've ever seen, played on public television. Whoa, reverse leg drop by Rogers on the Sheik. This is Abdullah the Sheik. Over in the coast this week to see George Paris, and of all things, my old friend from over there in Lincoln City, has the restaurant, was in Denver barbecuing a buffalo. Knee lift to the midsection. Abdullah sticking it to the breadbasket on Tommy Rogers. Rogers from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Coming all the way across the ring. And a club blow down into the point of the chin. Abdullah. Stunt to the back of the head. Turnbuckle treatment. Tommy Rogers hurting. Our opening match of the night. We want Tommy, the cry of the crowd. Turnbuckle treatment for Rogers again. And again, no, Rogers blocks it that time and gives it back to the Sheik. And again, turnbuckle treatment for the Sheik. Whip into the ropes. Tommy taking him into the back rope. Bottom rope, check that. Gonna go for the suplex. As Abdullah up and down hard. Would have the pin, I think, but Abdullah's got a foot on the ropes. Rogers going after it with a seat drop and miss. Put the look like the shins and maybe the point of those boots into the back on Tommy Rogers. That was a flat of the foot kick. Into the ropes, the whip, and elbow smash, point of the chin. Could happen. 1, 2, and Rogers kicks out just in time. And Rogers says a cut lip or cut tongue. And inside cradle, good move. 1, 2, and that's all. Abdullah up in that second turnbuckle comes flying. Forearm smash halfway across the ring. Laid it on young Tommy Rogers. Turns him over. See if he has the pin. 1, 2. Kicks out just in time. Elbow smash back of the head. And a kick side of the head. The whip, it's reversed. Rogers caught in an airplane spin. Airplane spin put on by Abdul. Reverse power slam. 1, 2, and 3. A reverse power body slam after the airplane spin wins it for Abdullah the Sheik. We're going to tell you once again, as we do always, here in just a moment, where wrestling is this week throughout the Pacific Northwest. I want to remind you that our next big Tuesday special is on August 31st. That is a week from this coming Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday. It's going to be Kids Night, incidentally, on September 4th. Remember that one. It's Labor Day weekend. Terry Gibbs, sensational young wrestler from Georgia, is going to be here. He's been on national TV. We'll tell you more about him in the weeks to come. September 4th, Kids Night. Remember that. Okay, a rundown, if we might, on where wrestling will be. It'll be way up to Columbia tomorrow, Walla Walla, Washington. Then Gresham, Oregon. It's Mount Hood Community College in Gresham on Monday. A change in the main event there. It is even going to be hotter, and I hope to meet you there myself on Monday in Gresham. Tuesday at Coos Bay, they've got a super card going. Marshfield High School for that one Tuesday. Wednesday in Medford. Thursday at Salem at the Grand Theater. They've got all the newcomers there. All the wrestlers will be in action Thursday at Salem. Friday in Eugene, pro wrestling returns to the Exposition Hall. And Saturday, we're back here in Portland. We'll return in a moment. Right now, Laura Parker to talk to you about Fords and other cars at Marv Tonkin Ford.
It's closeout time.
You'll see such pitches 100 times in the next few weeks, and in most cases it will mean the best car deals of the year. But only at Marv Tonkin Ford will it mean the best deals, the highest trades, the lowest prices, and an extra bonus for you with every car, truck, or demo in stock. Your choice of this 19-inch RCA color TV or this deluxe Sanyo video recorder or this Litton microwave oven or even fly round trip via Air Calderino and have the time of your life for 3 days and 2 nights at the Comstock Hotel Casino in downtown Reno with breakfast, cocktails, and all their wonderful coupon goodies. You wrestling fans know how high Marv Tonkin trades and how low his prices always are. Now for a few more days, you get your choice of these year-end bonuses. But because these gifts are possible only through advertising trades, they are limited. So please come in tomorrow and you see what this means to you.
Remember, I'm Marv Tonkin, the Ford man.
Why are you drinking decaffeinated coffee?
Because I should.
Try this new coffee.
Tastes good, but I really should drink a decaffeinated.
This is decaffeinated. New decaffeinated Hills Brothers.
This is decaffeinated? Tastes really good. Oh, no, come on.
If you're still drinking decaffeinated coffee because you should, here's one you'll drink because it tastes good. New decaffeinated Hills Brothers coffee.
I mean, it really tastes good. Oh, this is incredible.
Sunday at 5. It is the year 1863, and the Indians are on the rampage.
The Senecas, the Ottawas, Delawares, Shawnees.
You mean a general uprising?
They're all dead.
What's happened?
Engines.
You haven't blood in your veins, you've gunpowder.
Gary Cooper, Paulette Goddard, in Cecil B. DeMille's Unconquered, one of Hollywood's best, Sunday at 5 on TV 12.
We've got the Dutchman here to talk a little bit about wrestling. We got far away dates and some close dates this week.
Yes, tomorrow, folks, we're over in Walla Walla. The name's so nice they spelled it twice. Walla Walla at the Community College Gym. The matches start at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. We're in Gresham Monday night at Mount Hood Community College. For you folks over in Gresham, pay attention. Mount Hood Community College, Monday night, 8 p.m. There's still tickets available, and you can get your tickets at the door. Tuesday night, we're down in Coos Bay, and I'm going down to Coos Bay myself to see my partner, Elton Owen, help him with the show down there, so we expect a big turnout at the school down in Coos Bay. Wednesdays, Medford, Marshfield High School, yes. You guys should go all the way to state this year, you Marshfield people. Salem Thursday, Eugene Friday, Portland Saturday, and the following Sunday we're up in Sumner, Washington. I do want to thank the people throughout the state of Oregon and Washington that were so nice to us this past week, Frank. We were all over. I want to thank Al Grafoni and his lovely wife for the dinner they fixed for me today. I thank a couple of friends of mine over in Orchards, Al Loopman and the gang. And you people out there that don't have anything to do next week, come on out and see wrestling. And then on the Sabbath, go to church. Oh, good night, Willa.
Thank you, Dutch Savage. Remind you that it's a couple of big matches on the card down at Salem, at the Grand Theater, downtown Salem. You can get your tickets at Stevens and Son Jewelry. Once again, I got to say that, you know, we appreciate having the sponsors that we have over the years. We've had, of course, Friendly for years and years and years from the beginning. We now have Marv Tonkin. We're very happy to do so. But we've got Tom Peterson with us. He's been with us all this time. And we appreciate when the sponsor has enough interest in our show and you to come out here with some late buys he couldn't give you if he taped it. And we're going to hear from that man right now, talking about Tom Peterson.
Hello, I'm Tom Peterson, and we're having our greatest sale of the year. It's our tent sale. And here's a few scenes taken right in the store from this great sale. Tom Peterson here in our movie club. As you can see, people are renting movies all the time. In our club, you can rent 4 at a time. Here's a club member, Nancy. She's been in our club for over 3 or 4 years. Couple more movies today, Nancy?
2 more. I come here all the time.
Good.
As many as I can. It's the best place to come to get your movies.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Now that's it, Tom Peterson's. Look at all the movies, blank tapes, video games. It's all here. And there's only one place. That's Tom Peterson's. Tom Peterson from the microwave department. During our tent sale, it's a big sale. We have microwaves in the store, microwaves in the tent. Great brand names you all know, like Litton, Hotpoint, Panasonic, Sanyo. Over 100 microwaves in this department alone. And you can buy a Panasonic microwave with a 5-year limited warranty, all parts and labor, for only $349. That's at Tom Peterson's. Tom Peterson talking from our video room. It's a busy day here. You can see people are looking and buying colored televisions, buying video recorders. And you look around, 200 colored televisions, 50 video recorders. And during our tent sale, you can buy a VHS 8-hour Magnavox video recorder for only, now get this, only $498. And you get free membership in our movie club. It's a great buy. Don't miss it. As advertised in TV Guide this week, this 19-inch colored TV, only $248 during Tom Peterson's tent sale. It's our tent sale, and we got some great buys tomorrow, and every day at the tent sale. We open tomorrow right after church. We're open until 11 o'clock at night. Here's a couple new items. Just came in the other day. Here's a Sanyo cassette. How much? $39.95. Small, great Sanyo, a great quality item at Tom Peterson's for only $39.95. Now, the next thing is something really exciting. These are cartridges from Intellivision that turn your Atari into an Intellivision game. We've got them $29.95.
KPTV 12, Portland.
Portland Sports Arena, 8725 North Chautauqua. That's where you'll find the action every Saturday and frequent Tuesdays. I think I mentioned to you that the next big Tuesday card will be the 31st. That's a week from Tuesday. And some wild things are being planned and taking shape for that date. Next Saturday, 2 more new wrestlers will be on hand. Tell you more on that later.
Next Saturday night, there'll be 2 new wrestlers coming to the Northwest. P.G. Stone from Detroit and Randy Jackson from Calgary. They're good boys, and they'll be in here next week, a couple of new faces for us. So the next event will be one fall. Introducing in this corner, 248 pounds, from Louisiana, Mike Miller. His opponent in this corner, 235 pounds, from San Francisco, Steve Pardee.
Well, as Mike Miller likes to say, any time is Miller time. Mike Miller against Steve Pardee. Luke Brown is the referee tonight, at least so far. Sandy Barr, who's now affiliated with the Rose City Speedway, is probably watching things over there, and we're going to tell you about what happens there tomorrow a little later on in the show. The referee is there to give instructions, and he was listening. Miller was doing most of the talking. Cage match tonight. Buddy Rose against Schultz. Dr. D, that is. Dr. D from Tennessee. Going to be a wild one. Not originally intended to be on television. On occasions where there is a sellout, as there is tonight, at least as far as I can see, there are no vacancies. I do believe we have a sellout. In those instances, they occasionally put a match on television that they had intend to. We don't know yet. Quite frankly, we sit here and just wait for the matches and the wrestlers to come out of the dressing room, either for an interview or down in the ring for the action. We aren't sure who will be coming out. Pardee with the takedown, the wing lock. I got a couple little buddies down at Salem that get to watch once in a while. By the name of Heather Ray and Travis Blaine Whitman. They are McGrath's children. We have a note from Mrs. Shag Thomas, which I'm more than happy to pass along. I'm not happy with the circumstances, but it comes from Shirley Thomas. Mrs. James Thomas was Shag's real name. Over the top, takedown may have it. No. And it reads, the family of Shag Thomas would like to express their appreciation to the many concerned people who showed so much love and concern during the loss of our loved one. There are no words to express our feelings. Thank you just isn't enough. We hope that each of you will realize how much it means to us. That comes from Mrs. Thomas. Thank you very much. Happy to do that. We'll repeat that for anybody who might be tuning in a little later. Into the corner, Miller and Pardee. Shot to the midsection. Elbow smash side of the head. The referee moving through said, let him out of the corner. Whip. Into the opposite corner. Miller went in after. Steve Pardee, San Franciscan, got out of the way. He comes up with a wing lock. Miller makes his way to his feet against the hold. Takedown by Miller. Crowd yelling that hair was pulled. He denies it. Sawyer is really out after Rip Oliver. He got bloodied up in a wild match up in Seattle last week by Oliver. However, Oliver and his partner, Buddy Rose, want Sawyer and Pardee to put up the Northwest Tag Team belts that they claim were stolen from them in Eugene 3 weeks ago. Meanwhile, Hack is saying Oliver should put his Northwest heavyweight title on the line. Speaking of champions, the big one, the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair will be in the Northwest late in September. Good evening, Miller at the takedown. There's Irene. She's our consulting referee. The last few years, she's ready to offer her opinion at any time if the referee needs help. And I see Mr. Burns looking more like a cowboy every Saturday night, sitting down there in the third row. There he is. That's Mr. Burns. He is one of the most rabid wrestling fans you will find anywhere. And he's the father-in-law of Gordy White, program manager at Channel 12. Miller working on Pardee, knee drop. I'm being fed information, but I have to double check it. Is that the truth? Or are you putting me on again? Okay, then we'll tell it. We understand Gordy White and his wife Elby were having a family reunion party set for today and tonight. But Mr. Burns says, I go to wrestling on Saturday nights, so they put it off until tomorrow. I think that happens more often than a lot of people think. We talk to a lot of folks and say, they have friends, good friends, and it's when you go see them on Saturday night at 11, you either watch the TV show or at about 7:30 you got to leave the house to get to wrestling. Because Saturday night is wrestling night for a lot of people in the Northwest. And you don't have to believe us. Ask Marv Tonkin or Tom Peterson. They'll tell you that. Whoa! Pardee caught Miller. Miller dives underneath that one. Catches him, and it's a small package, but they're into and through the ropes. Luke Brown, the referee, giving a few words of warning to Miller. A hammerlock, going to take him into the top turnbuckle. Miller grabs the arm. Forearm smash into the shoulder, elbow smash, the back of the shoulder. Hammerlock being worked by Miller. Well, only, what, 2-3 weeks before the end of the Oregon Journal, something that we in wrestling particularly are going to mourn deeply. The Oregon Journal has been a very, very good newspaper to professional wrestling over the years. They've been fair. And the personnel there, among some of the best in the Pacific Northwest. Kenny Wheeler, John Nola, George Pacero, of course, a favorite for many, many years. Bill Muffler, Carl Puff, and I'm not going to remember all of them, but we appreciate all of them. Dwight James, Lloyd Schneiderman. Over the top. sorry to see him go. I believe it's 5th, 6th, or 7th of September along in there. The final edition will come out. We understand that what you've known as the Journal will be the afternoon Oregonian sports page. That can work. We hope so. Certainly want to hope to keep up with all those guys. The whip and the elbow smash. Miller caught to the point of the chin by Steve Pardee. And takes him with the grapevine. Let's see if he takes him back and rolls him up. He does. 1, 2, and 3. Steve Pardee. Miller going after him after the bell has rung. Pardee coming back. And Pardee into the ropes. Caught. Now Miller at it. Caught in the ropes. Pardee working on him. Miller going through the ropes, and the crowd loving it. He is tied up in the ropes, and they think that is just fine. The foot tied up. Luke Brown trying to get him loose. Steve Pardee, the winner. Abdullah the Sheik winning earlier over Tommy Rogers. Once again, I would like to read to you a message that we've received from the Shag Thomas family, Mrs. Thomas and the family. It reads, the family of James Shag Thomas would like to express our appreciation to the many concerned people who showed us so much love and concern during the loss of our loved one. There are no words to express our feelings. Thank you just isn't enough. We hope that each of you will realize how much it means to us. And it's signed Mrs. Shirley Thomas, that is Shag Thomas's wife, and their family. We know them all, and we once again just have to send our consolation along to them on the loss of one of the great ones, Shag Thomas. We'll be right back. Here's some words from Marv Tonkin Ford.
If you're looking for low-cost transportation, then the address you're looking for is 12345 Southeast Stark. It's Marv Tonkin's Ford Stark. Now, here's the first of 3 cars on which we've cut the prices so low they probably won't even buy the accessories. Now, this one's a 1975 Buick LeSabre. Let's see, add up the equipment. It's got automatic, power steering, AM/FM tape deck, and air. Now, what would you pay for the accessories? $900? Our full price tomorrow is only $589 for the car and the equipment. Now, this is a 1974 Olds Toronado hardtop. I can't begin to list all the extras, but it's got full power, stereo, air, absolutely everything. I guess that all those extras would cost more than $1,000. We'll sell the car tomorrow for just $595 full price. This is a 68 T-Bird. You know they're absolutely loaded with everything that probably you'd ever want, but we don't care. Tomorrow you take the accessories and the car for $595. You find such deals only at 12345 Southeast Stark. That's Marv Tonkin's Ford Stark.
What keeps a woman feeling young? Part of it is how much younger she can look. My secret is Oil of Olay. It brings out a freshness people can see. A clean feeling that's never greasy. Oil of Olay softens my skin, so I look younger, of course. But the best surprise is how much younger I feel.
Discover the secret of Oil of Olay. It can help you look younger, so you'll feel younger, too.
If your transmission ever breaks down, you'll probably imagine all sorts of horrors.
Fix your transmission? Fine. We have a 15-year waiting list.
Don't worry. Our mechanics are experts.
That'll be $22,000.
22.
Don't let your fears run wild. Call the transmission specialist that's fast, reliable, with over 900 locations coast to coast.
AMCO?
AMCO. Why go anywhere else?
Well, the Army still together. Individually, Buddy Rose will get in the ring tonight with the cage against the Doctor. Rip Oliver, Buddy Rose.
As you can see, my shirt says Doctor Who. That's what everybody's going to be saying when I take care of Dr. Schultz. Now, let me tell you something. I told you this last week. Schultz and I faced in a cage match a couple of weeks ago. It was supposed to be the last time we'd meet, and then everything went wrong for Buddy Rose. We tried to double team Schultz, I will admit it, and it backfired, and I got beat 1, 2, 3. I asked Don Owens, and I asked Schultz, and I asked Oh, real smart. We're going to put the cage up now, huh? Okay. I see it's cage match time right now. Okay. Then I asked for a rematch in the cage with Dr. Schultz, and he wouldn't do it. Then I said, all right, will you do it? On one condition. I'll do anything for a cage match. And I put this on the line. I said, I want Schultz in a cage match, and if I can't beat him, I will leave the Northwest forever and ever and ever. That's how sure I am that I can beat you. Oh, I'm human. I can be beat. But when it's the big one in the Northwest in professional wrestling, Buddy Rose always comes out smelling like a rose. Right, Rip?
He said it just like it is. He comes out smelling like a rose. And the Ripper here still got this belt. Got everybody chasing me. Everybody. Hack Sawyer chasing me all over the country. Everywhere I go, I see him. I look out my back rearview mirror. Hack Sawyer looking right behind me. Everywhere I go, Hack Sawyer. You want this here bad, ain't you, boy? You want it real bad, but you ain't getting it. Just keep chasing all of you flunkies out there of Hack Sawyer's friends and all of this that thinks he's so good and he's so hot at this. When he wants this here, he's got to come and he's got to take it because I ain't giving it to him. No way I'm going to slack off for anybody. I've got it. I'm going to keep it. So, Hack, brother, you want some of me. Hardy, you want some of me. It don't matter who. Anytime they get in the ring with me, they're going to get whooped. And I'll say that once and I'll say it again. They're going to get whooped bad.
You know what I think, Frank? If I do lose this match, and if I do have to leave, I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm going to leave it up to Rip. I think they should have memory lane for Buddy Rose, and I think they should find a lot of tapes of all the great matches that Buddy Rose had with Roddy Piper, with Jesse Ventura, even with Schultz, with them all, Matt Bourne, you name it, go down the line. Buddy Rose will always be remembered if I don't win this one. You'll always remember me down in history books as the toughest man that ever came through the Northwest. But if I do win the match, which I know I'm going to do, Bonema, there will be no memory lane. It'll just be the future, and what will Buddy Rose do next? What will Rip Oliver do next? What will the Army do next? As I've said for 7 years, I am the toughest man that's ever hit the Northwest. And lately, as you know, Bonham, I'm the toughest man in the ratings on the East Coast, too. Thank God the airplanes, they can make it across this country in 5 hours, back and forth. And the Playboy's going where the money's at. East, west, all over. But I'm staying here also. Nobody's running me out. I got to win the big ones. My heart's in it tonight. You're going to have to kill me to beat me, Schultz. You're tough, but I think I'm just a little bit tougher.
The Army, Playboy Buddy Rose, and Rip Oliver, the heavyweight champion of the Northwest.
I'll be back.
Well, he will be back only if he wins. He'll be back only if he wins. So we'll find out about that. They are putting the cage up. We obviously are going to have the cage match on TV for you, and I think probably a man instrumental in that is Tom Peterson, who asked Don Owen, a promoter, whenever possible, to put on the main event so those unfortunates who can't get out to the sports arena will be able to see it. So we're going to get it. We hope we can. The camera will cover it well enough. We'll find out. We'll be back with that after this for Tom Peterson.
Tom Peterson from the Big Top, all kinds of great buys. In fact, We have video, television stands here at unbelievable prices. We have a Magnavox 19-inch color TV stand for $5. We have stereo stands for as little as $19. It's all here in the Big Top. People buying, things going on all the time. And don't forget the great buy on these turntables. They're BSR. They're only $22. It's our tent sale. Great buys in our tent sale. And we haven't talked about it, but we got some great furniture, closeout items right out in the tent. We have dinettes that have been cut not once, but twice. Dinettes you'll never see at that price before. Bedroom furniture, all kinds of bedroom furniture, coffee tables, end tables. They're only $10 a piece. Now, we just fill up the tent on Thursday and Friday, and it's packed, so don't miss those great furniture buys. And here's a buy on a television right back in the studio you won't believe. Where can you buy a 19-inch color TV for less than $270? At Tom Peterson's, that's where. This full-featured set, automatic fine-tuning, automatic gain control, automatic color, black matrix picture tube, 100% solid state, and only at Tom Peterson's, this 19-inch color television for only $269. We stopped this commercial for this special announcement. This 19-inch color TV now only $248 during Tom Peterson's tent sale. Great buys at Tom Peterson's. Right now during our tent sale, we have $50 off on any Intellivision game. $50 off. That makes the price only $179, and that's after a $50 rebate from Intellivision. Cartridges brand new, save $7. Night Stalker, $27.95. Space Hawk, save $7, $27.95. And here's Sub Hunt for $27.95. Don't miss it.
Well, you see it. Thank you, Tom, very much. Thank you for being out here with us. We appreciate it. Tom Peterson joined us again tonight out at the sports arena. Down at ringside, it's kind of hard to see. Let's listen to Don Owen.
More or less forced on us this evening. So I'll introduce the following participants. Now, this is no time limit, no disqualification. Everything goes, and the man that gets pinned loses. Introducing in this corner, 249 pounds from Las Vegas, Playboy Buddy Rose. His opponent in this corner, 250 pounds from Tennessee, Dr. Jay Schultz.
And down at ringside.
And Rip Oliver and Hacksaw Sawyer will be handcuffed together so that they can't get in the ring and interfere. So everything goes.
Oliver and Hacksaw are handcuffed around the ring post. Sandy Barr is the referee. The referee's only job, as I understand it, will be counting. And Sandy Barr has about a 2-foot length of chain to help him control matters in there. And the chain goes around. The chain going around the door, the padlock on it. Hacksaw and Oliver and Director Larry Neat are going to have to keep a camera eye as best we can down on there. This is, Larry, do you remember us ever doing a cage match before on television? Well, Larry doesn't remember it. He's been around for all this time. I think he was a floor director, well, shortly after we started doing wrestling. He joined the organization. And we'll only hope that it shows up fairly well. We heard that it quality wasn't too good, but it's looking pretty good to me. Close-ups, a little fuzzy. The doctor maybe telling Rose what he intends to do to him. Remember, if Buddy Rose gets beat, in fact, if Buddy Rose does not win, he said forever and ever and ever he would wrestle no more. And Oliver down at ringside, handcuffed to the near left turnbuckle, to the near left ring post. And Buddy starts out. Well, it's a full moon over the sports arena. Rose wanted to get out. You heard him on his interview talking about wrestling. He flies back about every other week to New York and tapes some studio shows. There they are, handcuffed at ringside. Meanwhile, Rose had his head slammed into the screen. What is that called? Tornado fence? Hurricane fence? Something like that. Cyclone. I knew it was storm. Cyclone fencing, 10 feet high. Heavy gauge steel. In the cage. If we've done a cage match on television before, I don't remember it. And we're now into our third decade of announcing this television. We started in the 60s, throughout the 70s, now we're into the 80s. Dr. D from Tennessee. And the blood has started to flow. Sandy Barr is yelling at Dr. D. I understood it to be anything goes. Quite possibly supposed to be anything goes inside the ring ropes. We've been told no disqualification. We know no time limit. So we'll hope that it ends before we're through. Or we may have the longest wrestling show time-wise on record. Because I am told that we will probably stay with it if it doesn't end before our showtime ends. We were instructed years ago never to leave a match till it was over. Elbow, or rather forearm to the top of the head. Rose is bleeding. Dr. D, 1, 2, and he kicks out of it. Dr. D starting off with the upper hand. A low blow, but remember there's no disqualification. A low blow struck by Buddy Rose, but there's no DQ. Down at ringside, Rip Oliver and Hack Sawyer. Started this as early as possible after just a couple of preliminaries. Dr. D taking hard into the cyclone fence. Rose already has a cut opened on him. These are usually bloody affairs. We will warn you that. We failed to do so before. If you don't like blood, if you don't like violence, this is not the kind of a match to watch. That's why these are nearly always held on Tuesdays when there is no television. Dr. D Draghi, but catches Rose to the midsection. And I do believe that there's blood now coming from the head of Dr. D. One fall, no time limit. You've seen television wrestling history, as far as I can remember. Rip Oliver looking back at the crow's nest, yelling, look at that, Bonova. Dr. D's bleeding. He's almost gone. Rose covers him, hooks the outside leg. Almost. Oliver's yelling at Barr about counting faster. Saying that was a slow counter, Dr. D. Would have been counted out. One, two, and no. Yes. Billy Goat butt to the midsection. Rose doubled up. And they are ripping at each other. Dr. D comes roaring back, covers him with a body press. Count of two. If Rose gets beat, he'll never wrestle her again. We've got it on tape. He said never. No 90-day stipulation this time. There's no disqualification. Sellout crowd at the Portland Sports Arena. Frank Bonema calling the action for you on Portland Wrestling. Dr. D seeming to be getting the better of the Playboy right now. Off of the top turnbuckle. Dr. D. Urged on by the crowd. Rose tried to get out of the way. Dr. D saw him move and landed on his feet and belted him. Rose between the rope and the cage. Buddy Rose. Now the Doctor with a kick thrown in the direction of Rip Oliver. One, two, the Doctor has not got the pin. Now the Doctor talking to Barr about 1, 2, 3. Buddy Rose is up on the top. And something has been thrown in the face. Oliver threw something in the face of Hack Sawyer and openly handed brass knuckles. Well, you saw it on the screen. Buddy Rose wins it, and oddly enough, there's a lot of people cheering. Well, there's a lot more people coming up alongside the ring. We ask you always to remain in your seat. Well, you saw it. There's no use pretending you didn't. The brass knuckles handed by Oliver up to Rose after he threw something in the face of Hack Sawyer. Buddy Rose wins another one, no matter what else you got to say. Remember, looking at tape doesn't make any difference any more than it would to a football referee or a baseball referee. Buddy Rose getting something it appeared to be brass knuckles. And here, wait a minute, Oliver's loose from Hacksaw. Hacksaw is still chained. Oliver got his handcuff off and handcuffed Hack Sawyer to the turnbuckle. Now they are in double teaming. Sandy Barr is outside. Gets Hacksaw Sawyer loose. Watch out, Hacksaw is on the scene. Hacksaw going wild. Hack Sawyer going wild. Oliver and Rose have their heads put together again. Hacksaw Sawyer on a rampage gets caught from behind by Oliver. The match is over, but as you can tell, the fight isn't. And Buddy Rose pulled out. Dr. D has got the brass knuckles. Whatever it was, Dr. D got a hold of it. Sandy Barr now saying, where did you get a hold of those? Sandy Barr now, I believe, I don't know if he's accusing Dr. D of taking those in the ring with him or not, but he wants them. It's a homemade pair of what's known as brass knuckles. And Sandy Barr, the referee, confused as to where they came from. And you saw it on your screen, they came from Oliver. Oliver and Dr. D talking. And Dr. D thanking Hacksaw for coming in and helping him. Dr. D thanks the Hacker for coming in and helping. We'll be right back. We're going to pause for words from Marv Tonkin Ford.
It's not too often that one TV advertiser...
12, Portland.
Dr. D and what he has to say about what just happened.
That's right, baby. I want Don Owens is all I got to say. Hey, I can't beat Rip Oliver, baby, and Buddy Rose at the same damn time. I don't care what you do. So the only thing is get Don Owens out here, and let's put everybody in a damn cage, baby. Let's put everybody in there, and the best man wins, and the best man wins, baby, gets a shot at Flair. You know what I mean? Because they ain't going. Hey, I ain't going for it, baby. The doctor ain't going for this. Ain't no way. You see that right there, baby? Huh? That ain't mine. That's Buddy Rose, but I ended up with it. I took it away from him, and I'm going to use it on you, Rose, the next time I get you, boy. And that's going to be right here if you can get Don Owens. Here he comes. Don. Hey, baby, I can't go for it no more, baby. You give me 2 cage matches here. It's 1-1. Buddy Rose 1 and me 1. Look what he used. I know you don't condone that, baby. That ain't the part of the rules. It ain't supposed to be, and I ain't going for it. Now, Hack Sawyer, baby, he come out and saved the doctor. I appreciate it. I appreciate Hack Sawyer showing that he's a man, baby. He helped the doctor. And I can't beat Buddy Rose with Rip Oliver on the outside interfering. And I can't beat Rip Oliver with Buddy Rose interfering. So what I'm suggesting is a cage match with all 4 of us in the ring. And if you don't do it, Don Owens, the doctor ain't gonna wrestle here no more, baby. I ain't never wrestling here no more unless I get him in a cage.
We can't have any more cage matches. I'm not going to put them on. If you want to get all 4 of you in the ring, get them all 4 in the ring in a team match, that's fine. But it'll be off TV. We'll have it on Tuesday, August the 31st.
He said, okay, but it had to be on a Tuesday. The next open date is August 31st, I believe it is. A Tuesday, you got your match. You and Hack against them in the cage on Tuesday.
Hey,
a week from Tuesday.
You're never going to hear the doctor ask for anything else, baby. That's all I want right there, and I'm going to take it, baby, Tuesday. I'm going to get him, baby, okay? That's it, Frank. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's a week from this Tuesday. Not Tuesday, but a week from Tuesday, the first open date. We'll be right back once again to hear from our good friend for all these many years, and your good friend for sponsoring Portland Wrestling, Tom Peterson.
Tom Peterson again from the Big Top during our tent sale.
Another fella coming into the Northwest, Precious Paul Ellering. When we get a chance, we were supposed to let you know what the towns were. We'll do that after the first fall of this match, after the next fall. And also let you see a picture of another fella coming into the Northwest that, well, should be interesting to say the least. Hack Sawyer teaming with the Doctor.
That'd be the best 2 out of 3 falls are to a TV time limit. Introducing in this corner, 245 pounds, the Masked Assassin. His opponent in this corner, 226 pounds from Florida, Hacksaw Sawyer.
Well, we will call the man the Assassin, and he will not have any nicknames. Okay? The Assassin in against Hacksaw Sawyer. Hacksaw going to team with Dr. D. Who would ever have believed it? Oh, watch out. Before he can get his jacket off, the Assassin goes at Hacksaw. The bell is rung now. Sandy Bar's in. There's a referee. Up over the top, the Assassin throws Hacksaw into the top turnbuckle and over the top rope. Through the ropes, Hacksaw grab. Remember, we'll run down the towns and where wrestling's coming up this week. Remember that Tuesday card, a tag match, cage match, tag team cage match. I don't remember having one before. We probably have, because a lot of things I don't remember, but if we do have had it, I don't remember it. And remember, that is not this coming Tuesday, but Tuesday, the August the 31st. 2 weeks from tonight, incidentally, will be September, the first card in September. I believe that's September 4th. And that'll be Kids Night. Going back to school, Labor Day weekend and all, September 4th. We will have Jerry Lewis Telethon. I don't think we're wiped out for the telethon. That Larry Need is the director of that telethon every year. When does it start this year? Okay, on Sunday, September 5th, it starts. Going on into Monday, it has become a legend. Jerry Lewis Muscular Dystrophy Telethon on September, the weekend of the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Starts on the 5th, goes into Monday the 6th. So the 4th, we'll make it Kids Night. That's one youngster in with each paid adult admission. Back to the ring, and the Assassin, the Masked Assassin, in against Hack Sawyer. Armbar, and it's reversed. Hacksaw comes up with it. And it's reversed right back on him. Body drop across the left arm. Well, Buddy Rose did not lose. In fact, he won. The way he won, well, you saw it. Dr. D getting one more shot to get his revenge. And the winner. Dr. D suggested, and we understand, the masked man making a good move with the hip toss. We understand that the idea has been accepted that Dr. D had that whoever gets the fall, it'll be a one-fall match, all cage bouts that I've ever seen are. Any one of the four men, the man who gets the pin to win the match, gets the shot at Ric Flair late in September for the heavyweight champion of the world for that title. A wing lock, the assassin with the hold. Go, Hack, go. That's by the crowd. Forearm smashes. And shoulder throw backdrop. One, and that's all. The assassin went for the pin, got the count of one only. And he is wrapped up in a small package by Hacksaw Sawyer. Cage match on television. Buddy Rose, the winner, in a rather controversial manner, to say the least. You tuned in late. Steve Pardee beat Mike Miller earlier match. Abdullah the Sheik beat Tommy Rogers. A whip and a drop kick. The assassin is nailed, covered with a body press. The assassin able to kick out of it. Into the near neutral corner. And the assassin raining blows on Hacksaw Sawyer. Now choking. Sandy Boy, the referee, counting on him. And the referee shoves aside, will have a DQ. First fall will be a disqualification. The assassin giving Hack Sawyer as much punishment as he could. First ball goes to Hack Sawyer. The assassin is disqualified. Okay, while we move our cameras about here a bit, we're going to run down once again where the towns are, where wrestling is. And before we get to that, we'll be letting you know about a fella supposed to be 6 feet tall, around 235 pounds, calling himself Precious Paul Ellering. And there's a shot of him. Remind you anybody? A little bit maybe of Jesse Ventura, huh? And we find out Jesse Ventura and Adrian Adonis, now tag team partners, featured in, I guess it's People magazine. Somebody sent me the picture right here, and there you see him in a magazine on a golf course testing out the dress code rules. Adonis and Jesse Ventura, and of course they both started right here where you're watching now. They got their big start in the Northwest. Okay, where is wrestling? We'll tell you about it. Walla Walla, Washington tomorrow. Buy some sweets while you're over there. Some of those good onions, huh? Bring me some asparagus. Gresham, Oregon, Monday night at the Community College Gymnasium. A great location to have wrestling. Tickets on sale at the door. I hope to see you there myself. I'll be guest announcer. Tuesday in Coos Bay at Marshfield High School. A great card on tap there, as is at Medford on Wednesday. Thursday at Salem, they've got it at the Grand Theater downtown. They've got a double main event. All the new wrestlers will be on hand. Friday in Eugene, they are back there at, what do they call that building? The Expo Lane at the Lane County Fairgrounds. Then Portland again tomorrow, or next Saturday. We'll be back right after this commercial timeout.
Friday the 13th, Part 3 in Super 3D. The all-new 3D. Unbelievably clear. Incredibly realistic. terrifyingly sharp. Friday the 13th, Part 3 in Super 3D. It has to be experienced to be believed. Friday the 13th, Part 3 in Super 3D. Rated R.
Now playing near you, drive-ins presented in CinemaScope, not in 3D.
My one wish for the future. To feel young forever. Of course, to feel younger, you must also look it. So I use Oil of Olay, and I'll never stop. Oil of Olay enlivens my skin, helps it look fresh and smooth, so it feels very soft. And I can feel younger, whatever my age.
Discover the secret of Oil of Olay. It can help you look younger, so you'll feel younger, too.
When you buy a new car, you want to keep it looking new. And that's easy with Armor All Protectant. A scientific formula that took a polymer chemist 10 years to develop. It helps keep rubber, vinyl, leather, and plastic looking new. So even though you can't keep your car from getting old, you can keep it from looking old. Armor All. It's science, but it works like magic.
It's a new Rose City Speedway, and I want to tell you about it. Outlaw Superstock Open competition tomorrow. That means no rules except for safety. Powder Puff Jalopy tomorrow. Those women getting the destruction derbies. Next weekend, it's going to be a celebrity racing card. I'll have more on that. Frank Zanetti Penny brings you this message every week on Portland Wrestling about Rose City Wrestling. Out there at the end of Union, get out and see the action tomorrow. A lot of it going on Rose City Speedway. Back to action. They're back in the ring. You heard the bell ring in the background, I think. The Assassin with a grapevine on Hack Sawyer. The abdominal stretch, and he's quite a bit bigger than Sawyer. His hold is very effective. Sawyer will try to hold out against it. Hacksaw won the first fall by virtue of a disqualification on the Assassin. The Assassin trying to stretch him out. And he takes him over the top. The Assassin taken over the top by Hacksaw. Hacksaw now going down below the Assassin, coming back to the head between the shoulder blades. The whip and no. Counter whip. And a soul talk. Dropped in with the suplex, but not enough to get the pin. Sandy Barr, the referee, gets only a count of 2. Taken into the ropes. The Assassin and Sawyer. Whoa! Sawyer between the ropes, nearly down on the floor. And now he is put down on the floor. The Assassin, one of the newcomers showing here on tonight's card. The other, Abdullah the Sheikh. Abdullah Sheikh Al Hassan, his full name. And he showed that he can handle himself by beating a very, very tough Tommy Rogers tonight. Who's going to get it? It's going to be the Assassin taking Sawyer up. Gets a count of 2, but can't get 3. Roundhouse right. Back with it is Sawyer, the Assassin. Sawyer. The bell rings. The match is over. Don't know if the fight is. They're going at it. The winner will be Hack Sawyer. Won the only fall there was. We'll leave it to Sandy Barr to break it up, and we'll be back in a moment. First, this for Tom Peterson.
During Tom Peterson's tent sale, our lowest price ever on a VHS 8-hour video recorder, only $498, with free membership in Tom Peterson's Top 100 Movie Club. As advertised this week in TV Guide, this Magnavox VHS video recorder with 8 hours recording time, only $498, with all the most wanted features: electronic touch controls, still frame advance, search. Yes, all this for $498. But that's only half of the story at Tom Peterson's. And when you buy this video recorder or any video recorder in the store, you get free membership in Tom Peterson's Top 100 Movie Club. And you can rent movies like this from our Top 100. Or choose from our excellent selection on Disney movies. In addition, rent over 200 titles like these for as little as 99 cents a day. Now that's during Tom Peterson's tent sale.
Ooh, you are so dear. Come on, baby, I'll buy you a beer. Bull. Bull? If you want to get your message loud and clear, the Bull shows a lot more taste than beer. So bold, so smooth. Yeah, Schlitz malt liquor is in the groove. Don't say beer, say Schlitz malt liquor. Bull. Bull. No one does it like the Bull. I got high hopes, and there's half the fun. I'm gonna be a star, hey, gonna be number one. I'm gonna make it to the top, 'cause I've got a dream. I'm gonna be a star, hey, in my long and jeans. Living out my dream, in my long and jeans.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can now make it public. Hacksire, before he got into the ring against the assassin, was told, you meet the masked man, you get a shot at Rip Oliver's title next Saturday. Hacksaw Sire meets Rip Oliver for the title next week. Hack, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Frank. You know, I'm not in too good a mood. Rip Oliver, I've been chasing you up one road and down the next. You're hiding from me. You won that belt on a low blow. I talked to promoter Don Owens. Next Saturday night, we're going to see if you're the man you say you are, because you're going to face me in a 2 out of 3 falls for that Pacific heavyweight belt. And Rip Oliver, I want to tell you something. That belt is mine. These people in Portland will tell you that. I'm coming after that belt, and you better be damn happy that I don't get upset, because Rip Oliver, there's one thing I want, is that belt, because that makes me #1 contender for the world heavyweight champion, Ric Flair. And Frank, I might be losing my temper a little bit, but you know, Rip Oliver has took these things a little too far. I've had 2 chances for that belt. This is going to be my 3rd chance, and I'm going to bring it home to Portland.
Okay, and August 31st, Tuesday, we know you're going to be there teaming with the Doctor.
Thank you very much, Frank.
Okay, that young man will team with Dr. D Tuesday, August 31st. In the cage, a tag team bout in the cage. Frank Bonamy here, thanking you very much. From the Portland Sports Arena, this has been Portland Wrestling. Brought to you in part by Marv Tonkin Ford, where you're #1. And by Tom Peterson's at 82nd and Southeast Foster Road. Tonight's show directed by Larry Neat, the Canby Kid. Laura Parker was our floor director.
Movie 12 is next on KPTV. It's on now. Dealing days at your Northwest Ford dealers. And every deal's a winner. This weekend, don't miss the low, low prices on every car in stock, including the luxurious LTD, the new 6-passenger Futura, the family-sized Granada, and the legendary T-Bird. Supplies are limited and prices too low to last, so hurry in this weekend and look for the special Dealing Days tag on every Ford at your Northwest Ford dealers, the Gas Savers.
The SFM Holiday Network presents the MGM production of Green Mansions. The lure of a